Hey, welcome to Color Yoga. I'm Kyle and welcome to the Power Flow. Today's class we're going to have a look at pleasant versus unpleasant experiences and how we can use our yoga practice to strengthen our ability to remain behind these emotions and these thoughts, allow them to come and then go. And there's a big difference between observing the thought and getting sucked into it and getting drawn into that experience. And there is huge liberation in this equanimity. So we're going to practice this today and see if we can notice that there's no difference between being the awareness behind a pleasant experience versus being the awareness behind an unpleasant experience. And there's no need to get drawn in all the time. And we can also just drop that struggle entirely. So we're going to play around with that on our mat today and see how that changes your experience. If you have any comments or feedback, please hit me up in the comment section. I'd love to hear back from you. And if you fancy a bit of music, I put a link to a Spotify playlist down below and I'll cue you in to play that in the next cut. Otherwise, you can grab your mat and let's begin. Alrighty, welcome back. You're welcome to play your Spotify playlist now if you fancy some music. Otherwise, you can bring yourself to a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in through the nose, feel your belly fill. With a long exhale, let your eyes come to close. See if you can just take a few breaths to arrive, shake off the day. Acknowledge the breath, acknowledge your body, your practice. We're going to see if we can just notice any pleasant or unpleasant experiences throughout our practice and not allow ourselves to get drawn in, but just simply to observe and strengthen that ability to observe and know that there is a lot of strength in being able to just let that go and let it be what it is. Take a deep breath in to fill. With a long exhale, release and let it go. Once again, inhale to fill. Exhale to release. Inhale, arms rise up to the sky, touch above your head. With an exhale, bring them through to prayer. With your eyes closed, take as much time as you like to set an intention for your class. It's a good opportunity to ground your practice in something. And when you're ready, bowing your head towards your hands to seal that off. And we will begin today on our backs in Savasana. One of my favorite ways to start. Having the palms up, toes out. And when you're ready, make your way into stillness. Take a deep breath in, feel your belly rise. Exhale, release, and let it go. Draw the right knee into the chest, give it a good squeeze, flex both feet, tuck your chin. On your next exhale, lower your knee over to the left-hand side, coming into supine twists, keeping your right shoulder on the floor, and using your exhale to stretch diagonally across the body. And release, right knee draws in, give it a good squeeze. Exchange it out. Left leg comes in, flex both feet, tuck your toes, tuck the chin. And on the next exhale, lower to the right-hand side. Left shoulder remains on the floor. Use your exhale to diagonally stretch across the back. And release, both knees come in. Give yourself a good squeeze. Now, prepare yourself for a little core warm-up. Bring your chest up towards your knees, shins parallel. Now, you can obviously go into any variation you like. So we're going to start off just with engaging our core, lifting our chest up. If this is enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, you're going to lower the legs down to hover just off the floor and then squeeze them back in. Now, if you want to, you can always straighten the legs. You can always stay there. Find something that works for you. Find something that's challenging and breathable. And keep moving with intention, moving with your attention embodied. And we're going to change up, crossing over into bicycle kicks. Left elbow to right elbow to left knee. Slow and controlled rather than speeding off and shaking around. Try and keep your core flexed and engaged so belly is down onto the ground. Using your exhale to compress into the pose. And release. Extend your legs up into the sky. You can point, bend, just raise the heels up to the sky, hold. Now, if you would like some more, reach the arms up and see if you can try and touch the roof with your toes and your fingers. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Draw the knees in and rock from front to back. I'm going to warm up the spine, do at least 3 or 4 big rolls. And we're going to make our way into a forward fold at the top of our mat, placing the feet down, coming into a wide-legged forward fold correction. So feet hip width distance apart, nice big bend to the knees, grab opposite elbows. And we're going to sway from left to right. See if you can relax the back of the neck, allow that to spread into the facial muscles. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Squeeze the hands together with your eyes closed. You're going to fold down to the floor. Hands come up and over the head. You can always pedal the legs out. One of my favorite ways to warm up the hamstrings and the back. Perhaps tick-tocking your hands from left to right. And release. Hands come down to the ground. Inhale, half lift. Straight spine. Tuck the chin. Exhale, fold down and release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank, step back. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway, elbows in. Stay here and hold. Now engage the thighs, engage the core. Inhale, upward facing dog, straighten the arms to hold. Squeeze the thighs, look up, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, down facing dog, hips up, heels down. Take a moment to breathe. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to release. Ripple forward to plank. We're going to lower down onto our elbows, coming into an elbow plank. See if you can get your shoulders stacked over your wrists, hands facing forward. Now, if this is enough, you can stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, you can walk your feet forward into a dolphin pose. Again, trying to stack your hips over your shoulders. Find a nice, comfortable and breathable spot for yourself. From here, we're going to move into a chaturanga. So if you're in dolphin, you can make yourself walk your feet back, ground your hands. From here, you're going to keep your elbows bent at 90 degrees and just shift the weight, press up onto the hands, coming to a bent 90 elbows into a low push-up. From here, raise your right leg up off the floor and press back to a 3-legged dog. Keep breathing. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, release. I'm going to ripple forward to plank and lower down into elbows into an elbow plank. If you want, you can stay here. If you'd like to come into a dolphin, you're more than welcome to walk your hips forward, stacking them over your shoulders. You're going to stay here and breathe, engaging your core. Now, you can walk your feet back if you're in dolphin, otherwise stay here. You're going to ground the hands. And I know I'm throwing us into the deep end here, but we're going to press into the hands and lift the elbows up, coming into a chaturanga. So it's a halfway plank, elbows bent to 90. So inhale, as you exhale, press into the hands, raise the elbows, bend them to 90, coming to a chaturanga. From here, raise the right leg up off the floor and press back, 3-legged dog. Right leg reaches up into the sky. Even the weight between your hands. Feel the arms burn. Bend the right knee to the elbow, open up the hip, and slowly lower down into wild thing, touching to the floor, rolling the chest open and reaching through the right hands. Release, right hand comes back down. We're going to flop over to the other side, coming to side plank Vashisthasana, right onto the, press into the outer blade of the right foot. Find your variation. You can have your right knee to the floor, left leg up, left leg stacked, see what feels good. Now, draw the left knee into your chest, give it a good squeeze. See if you can take hold of your big toe with your hand. Keep that connection. If you'd like to, you can stretch it up into the air. I definitely don't have that range. And with control, step the left foot, still holding onto the toe, to the top of your mat, coming into a sort of low lunge with your hand gripped onto the toe. Now, inhale, look forward, keeping the hand connection on the toe, step forward, standing L or standing splits. You're going to ground down through the left heel. Use the hand to kind of hinge at the hip. So you're going to gently pull yourself down, actively keeping your right leg moving upwards. Relax the back of the neck, ground down through the left heel. With control, touch your right foot onto the floor and a wide-legged forward fold. Keeping the toe connection, keeping the belly to thigh connection. We're just going to sit down into the heels for a moment just to warm up the legs. And from here, we're going to stand up onto the right foot, drawing the left knee into the chest, into a Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. For those who are interested in your Sanskrit terms, you can straighten your legs out. You can hold them bent, see what feels good. This is an extended hand to big toe stretch or pose. You're going to hold and breathe. From here, we're going to bring it into a tree pose variation. You can either have it on the inside in traditional tree or take hold of the foot and allow the leg to come down. Just feeling a nice stretch in your hip flexor. You're going to keep hold of the big toe, extend it back out and release. We're going to come into a low flying warrior. Hands come to prayer. Left leg extends back. Nice strong capital T shape. Now, if you want to, you can reach your arms out in front of you and at the same time, touch the back foot down into the floor, reaching the arms out into a low lunge with rocket ship arms. Keep breathing. You're going to inhale to reach up, and as you exhale, walk your right foot to the right-hand side of your mat, ground the back heel, and interlace the fingers behind your back. You're going to come into a nice warrior one pose, so square your hips off. Inhale, open up the chest, and as you exhale, bow down, humble warrior. Bring your right shoulder on the inside of the right knee and relax the back of your neck. And release, ground down through the right foot. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky, warrior one. Exhale, plank, hands down, step back. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, roll over the toes, squeeze, look up. Exhale, down, upward facing dog, hips up, lower the heels down. Inhale, plank pose, ripple forward, and lower down into your elbows into a elbow plank. Again, if you have a variation in mind, you can move there, otherwise stay here and just take note of the breath. Take note of any pleasant or unpleasant experiences and see if we can just be the observer behind, let it come and let it go. You're going to make our way into an elbow plank, ground the hands. Again, into the deep end we go, hands down. We're going to keep the elbows bent at 90. We're going to shift forward into a chaturanga or a low plank. So inhale, exhale chaturanga, press down, roll forward, elbows bend, feel the burn. Raise the left leg up off the floor and press back, three-legged dog. Left leg extends up and back. Even the weight between your hands. Squeeze your left heel towards your bum. And on your next exhale, lower it over to a wild thing, gently touching it down, opening up and stretching through the left hand, opening up the front body. And release. Seek the left hand back down on the floor. Flop over to the left side, roll into the outer blade of the left foot, side plank or Vashisthasana. Find your variation and breathe. Ground down through the hand. Draw the right knee to the chest and take hold of your big right toe. And with control, step gently towards the top of the mat. Weird low lunge variation with the hand still gripped onto the toe. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, standing L or standing splits, hands still holding onto the toe. Raise the leg up, relax the back of the neck. Now use your arm to gently pull yourself down, hinging at the crease of your hip. With control, touch the foot back down into a wide-legged forward fold. Drop the weight into the heel, sit down momentarily. Bend the legs to 90, arms reaching out in front of you, still holding onto that right toe. With control, power up to the left leg. Draw the right knee up into the chest. And extend it out. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. If your leg can't straighten, that's fine. Find a nice variation. Even if it's bent, you want to keep your chest open. Knock your hips back. Upala, find the balance. And release into a tree pose. Still holding onto the foot, either finding the inside of the left thigh or placing it onto the front of the left hip and lowering the knee down. Again, still breathing, opening up the chest. It's always nice to work into the right hip flexor. Take hold of the big toe, extend the leg out in front of you, and let it go. Draw it into the chest. As you exhale, coming into a low flying warrior. Right leg extends back, bring your chest down, hands come to prayer. Find the balance first. So looking for a T or a capital T shape. If you want some more, extend the arms out in front of you. And with control, touch the right foot back down. Low lunge with rocket ship arms. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Ground your back heel. With your exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, humble warrior. Bow down, left shoulder on the inside of the left thigh. Relax the back of the neck. Now you want to try and shift the weight back as much as possible. So really press into the back heel. Using the breath. Release. Inhale, arms rise up to the sky to fill. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Inhale, weight shifts forward. Exhale, lower halfway chaturanga. Keep the elbows tucked in neatly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll over the toes, squeeze, look up. Exhale, down dog, hips up. Lower the heels down, well done. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg rises. Exhale, half pigeon, bring your shin through and down. So, find your right knee on the outside of the right hip. You can untuck the back toe. Your left leg, you can use as a sort of dial in and out of the posture. So, having it further back makes it a little bit easier. And once you start opening up, you can slowly bring your shin more parallel to the top of your mat. Otherwise, you can walk the hands forward, coming into a nice half pigeon. Again, noticing the breath, noticing, especially in these still moments, any pleasant or unpleasant experiences, and just being with them, observing for what they are. Not putting too much context. Obviously, if there's some seriously sharp pains, you need to adjust. But a nice dull ache is always something that's great to use your attention and kind of sit behind. Release, come onto the hands. Tuck the back toe. I'm going to press back to down dog, pedaling the legs out from left to right. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg rises up and back. Exhale, half pigeon through on the other side. Same thing here. Have a look at your left knee. Make sure it's just on the outside of the left hip. Untuck the back toe. And we're going to walk ourselves forward. You can either stay on your hands, onto your elbows. You can come all the way flat into the floor. Find a nice breathable space. And again, we're going to embody our attention. People always speak about trying to synchronize the mind, body, and breath. We're going to do the same thing. Noticing in the mind, drawing the attention in our body, and synchronizing it with our breath. And release, roll onto the outer blade of the left hip, extend both legs out in front of you. We'll just pat the hamstrings down, just shaking that off. Going to bring the feet together, having the soles of the feet to touch, knees out wide. Get into the front of your sitting bones if you can, and raise the arms up as you exhale. Shift the weight forward and release. Now, if your legs are aching at the hip, you can always find a pillow or a block or a book and just place them at the crease of the hip, just to give yourself something to rest on. Again, still using your breath and your attention to stay embodied and keeping your body moving forward and down, encouraging a nice fold at the crease of your hip. And release. Going to inhale to roll up, and with control, draw the knees in and lower yourself down onto your back. Going to draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. You're going to rock from left to right. And send the heels up into the sky, coming into a happy baby, taking the outer blades of the feet. Once you've got hold of the outer blades or the shins, or behind the hamstrings, find a nice breathable spot. But if you have the feet on the outer blades, draw the blades down with your hands, tuck the chin, and kick up with the feet, and see if you can use that push and pull to flatten your spine on the floor. And it's always nice if you can rock from left to right, just to massage the spine out. Allowing the eyes to soften, allowing the breath to soften. Release, draw the knees in, give yourself a good squeeze, wrap your arms around, inhale, raise the forehead up towards your knees. Take a moment to reconnect with your intention. With an exhale, release into Savasana. Well done. Toes out, palms up. Make any last adjustments. And when you're ready, commit to stillness. Take a nice deep breath in. With some sound, sigh, and release. Well done. See if you can be with your pleasant or unpleasant or both experiences, just noticing them and letting them go as easily as they came in. Thank you once again for all the beautiful effort you're putting into your practice and into this channel. And see if you can take this practice and take it off your mat and try and notice any pleasant or unpleasant experiences throughout your day or throughout your week. And see if you can use your attention to just remain behind it and let it drift off. Just see how that changes your experience. See if you can lay in Savasana for a little longer than you normally would, and I'll see you here next time on your mat. Namaste.